I didn't see the new baby, and now everyone in my husband's 33 family is mad at me. Too long, don't read. I was given 24-hour notice. Myself, her husband, and their new baby were in town, and I was unable to see them due to work. Now that entire side of the family is mad at me and acting like I should have rearranged my entire schedule to be able to see them. I'm going to start this off by saying that my husband and I have a good relationship, and it's pretty normal. I'm not going to call it perfect or fantastic because we have disagreements like any couple, and I don't believe that a perfect relationship exists. So here's the deal. My husband's sister and her husband live in a different state, and they're both doctors, so they have pretty busy schedules. They came back to visit last week with their new baby that we haven't seen yet. His mum had been telling us for a while that they were coming back sometime in June, but would never give us specific dates when we asked. I'm not sure why neither of us reached out to his sister to confirm the dates, but we didn't, and we just relied on his mum to provide this information to us. So anyway, they came back to visit Sunday through Saturday. Morning last week, neither of us knew they were in town. His mum sent us both a text on Wednesday stating dinner at our house tomorrow night at 5:30. Family friends are coming too, having burgers, brats, etc., eating around 6-ish, which is an innocent enough text, except this was the first time that anything had been said to my husband or about this dinner that we were expected to attend. He had to contact his mum to find out what this dinner was regarding and why we were expected to attend. That is how we found out that his sister, Bill, and the baby were in town. So here's where the issue occurred. I work in health. Granted, I do home health, and I set my own days and hours. But once I have a schedule set with my patients, it's really hard to get a visit rescheduled within the prescribed window. My days are not typical 8 am 5 am days. I frequently am not getting home until 7, 8, or 9 at night, and sometimes I'm not home until midnight. I'm frequently driving 2-3 hours one way to see a patient, so this makes my days 10-13 hours long on a regular basis. I'm not saying this as a pity me and my work schedule thing. I'm stating this to stress how hard it is to reschedule patients due to how much of a time commitment each visit is. So back to the issue. His mum gives us 24-hour notice of this dinner that we're expected to attend, but I have to work, and it's one of my 13-hour days. So I tell my husband that I can't attend this dinner and I need his mum to provide more notice than 24 hours for things like this. He asks if I can reschedule my patient, but I can't because my schedule is booked for the next 3 weeks. So he turns around and tells his mum we will be there for dinner. I tell him that is not what I just told you, and he asks me again to really try to reschedule my patient. I tell him that I've no room to reschedule and contact his mum to let her know that I won't be able to attend dinner due to work and request that she provide more notice in the future. She just says okay and leaves it. The dinner happens, I go to work. I come home and talk with my husband. He states that when he was leaving, his mum told him we're really sorry that she couldn't be here. Have her stop by tomorrow. This puts me in the same situation I was in with the dinner. I have an 11-hour day on Friday, and I'm going to be back home until around 9:30 that night. I can't just drop everything to go see the baby and visiting family. So I sent his mum a text stating that I wouldn't be able to make it over the next day due to work, and she didn't respond. His sister, Bill, and the baby left Saturday morning. Sunday, my husband's mum sends him a text stating your Bill and sister were hurt apprehensive. Duck 562 didn't come over to see her niece. Bill actually said something to us. Think how you would feel if you were parents and your only aunt ignored your child. Bill or sister would not treat either of you like family is family, you show up for them. My husband told me about it, and I told him to let his mum know that if she has any issues, then she needs to direct them to me, but she never responded to his text. Now I'm left with a family that is angry at me that I wasn't able to see the baby due to work. I have a text response drafted out to his mum, but I'm uncertain I want to send it because I don't want it to seem like I'm disliking her. But at the same time, I let everyone know that I had work commitments, and I would not be able to just drop it. I'm frustrated that they all expect me to just cancel my commitments and make myself available on short notice. I feel this is a complete disregard and lack of respect for my schedule and my work on top of it. If the roles were reversed, I know that his sister and Bill would not receive a text like that from his mum because they're doctors and everyone knows how hard it is for them to get out of work, especially on short notice. I'm not ignoring anyone. I just can't change my schedule on such short notice. I'm really sure how to resolve the situation. I thought about texting his sister and saying that I was sorry I missed them when they were in town, but I wasn't made aware of it until 2 days before they left. In the text that I've drafted for his mum, I pretty much say everything that I said up above. That I feel disrespected. It's not reasonable to expect me to rearrange things at a moment's notice, etc. Am I the bad guy in this situation? I feel like everyone is looking at it one-dimensionally, and that dimension is that I just didn't want to see them. When in reality, it's that I was given really short notice, and I was unable to make my work schedule fit. What are your thoughts, Red? The problem is honestly your husband, who was somehow unable to communicate to his family. The doctors are going to get it. The mother-in-law is self-absorbed. Some thoughts your partner threw you under the bus by saying we will be there, not communicating straightforwardly with his mum, and not addressing her entitlement. As a result, you're now the bad guy. Does mum tend to be controlling? Do she and the rest of his family make demands on your time and put a lot of stock into performative gestures? Does your husband often avoid conflict with his mother? There's a lot of projection and blame coming your way. It feels to me like this actually isn't about you or the scapegoat here, and is more to do with mum's need for control and your husband's conflict dynamics. Like the fact that he tried to weasel out of saying she can't come, and then he didn't just say she's working again tomorrow and can't make it at the door, makes me think he's trying to avoid conflict with his mama and is passing it to you. Don't let him do it. First off, stop talking about all of this over text. From there, contact Sil and Bill and say you want to chat. Own that you did not take responsibility for contacting them directly, and that you instead used all of these different intermediaries, your husband, Bill, etc. They did too, of course. But you don't need to mention that. Say you were only given 2 days' notice that they were in town. Say you would have loved to see them. Explain about your schedule. Ask them to please give you some notice next time they will be in town, and say you'd love to spend some time with them, and slash or plan something. It doesn't need to be a long explanation. For them, I can't take time off without at least days' notice without significant disruptions to patient care should suffer. Suggest a virtual hang out soon. Say you'd like to stay in better touch, so that these visits aren't such a surprise. Ask questions about baby. See how they respond. Chances are high they either don't care or will be able to recognize they should have given you more notice rather than go through Mill. Second, invite Mill to dinner or wait until the next time you see her in person. Say you understand their feelings were hurt. Explain about your schedule and tell her what you need in the future to be able to make events such as notice. Be clear that 2 days is simply never going to be enough notice for you. Do not apologize to her for not calling out or changing your work schedule. That would be unreasonable. Merely focus on what you can do and what she can do in the future to prevent this from happening again. If that conversation is going well, you can suggest that your feelings were hurt since it seemed like she didn't respect you or your schedule, but only that the conversation is going well. If Mill still seems like she is making it all about her or stirring shit, just set firm boundaries. Let her know that if she is upset with you about something in the future, you would prefer she come to you and talk about it directly. Then leave it alone. If she's still upset or being unreasonable, that is on her. Give her space to work through her feelings and stop trying to fix them there. But with a family that doesn't communicate well or plan, hence the last-minute visit and the way things were conveyed or not conveyed in a timely fashion, you're going to want to prioritize clear and direct communication that much more. So doing it over text opens up all sorts of possibilities for misunderstanding. Just focus on how to ensure you see the baby next time rather than rehashing what you did or didn't do or what they did or didn't do.